Hold up.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Ronja here, and today I'm going to be sharing you guys 15 intermediate level tips that you guys can use to improve your gameplay in Clash Royale. Now, these tips are not for experts, and they're not really for beginners either. The experts should not watch this video because I know a lot of you guys are going to comment, wow, these tips aren't even good. Well, this is like for intermediate level players, which is basically like Arena 6 through 9. So if you guys are in that range, you guys are in the right spot. If you guys are before that, you guys can still learn a thing or two, but if you guys are really after Arena 9, like 10 and 11, you guys won't really learn too much from this video. You guys might learn a thing or two, but for the most part, you guys should know these things if you're past that point. So this is just an intermediate level guide because I know a lot of you guys out there are actually in that range, so I want to help you guys out. So let's go ahead and start out with the first tip here. So the first tip is your towers are your best defense. So what I mean by this is you guys need to use your tower to defeat the enemy's troops. So let's say they place a knight. You're going to want to place your own knight down and make sure that your tower kills that knight so that your knight still has a little bit of HP left. This is the best thing that you guys can do. Don't place your knight directly at the bridge because that's just a waste. If you guys' knights cancel each other out, that's just going to be a waste. You can actually gain some value here. You guys make sure that you place your knight a little bit back so that your tower does damage to the knight as well. So the second tip I've got for you guys is learn some more card interactions. I'm sure you guys know some of the basic card interactions like, you know, the arrows take out the minion horde, but learn some of the better ones like how long does it take for an executioner to beat down a golem or something like that. You guys will be able to learn these things and pick them up and put them into your gameplay and store those things in the back of your mind for when you're in a battle, and you'll know exactly how long things take and what cards counter each other and things like that. The third tip that I'm going to give you guys is make sure that you build decks with cards that work well together or cards that have synergy. For example, this deck right here, as you guys can see, the Executioner and Tornado have great synergy. Reason being, the Executioner throws its axe and it goes really far away and it hits everything in its path. So if you pair that up with the Tornado, it's going to pull troops from everywhere around into one spot so that the Executioner axe will go through all of the troops. This works well with a bunch of other cards, not just the Executioner, but the Tornado can work well with a bunch of different cards, and that's one type of synergy in this game. Another one is putting a Hog Rider behind, like, I don't know, an Ice Golem. The Ice Golem is going to get pushed by the Hog, and if the Ice Golem gets to the tower first, they won't be able to Tornado the Hog Rider to the King Tower, so just keep that one in mind. Just little things like that that you guys will be able to learn when you build deck. Speaking of decks, make sure that you guys don't upgrade every single card you have. Only upgrade the ones that are really viable. So two cards that aren't really ever viable are the Tesla and the Bomb Tower. There's just better options out there for those two cards. But if you guys really want to, I mean, you can upgrade them, but I'm just suggesting that you guys save your gold for other times. Fifth tip I can tell you guys is don't burn your elixir. I see a lot of people burning their elixir, even like all the way up in Legendary Arena when I'm playing. Like, I'll play a card and they just won't play anything. You guys need to make sure that you don't burn, leak, waste, whatever you want to call it, to your elixir. Make sure that you're playing something if you're at 10 elixir. The sixth tip here is try not to use any more than 3 spells or 2 buildings in your deck, guys. I still see it all the way up in Legendary Arena. People who are trying to play with 4 spells. I don't know why, but literally the only way 4 spells works is if you're playing against Logbait, and that's just so situational. Otherwise, you're just going to get destroyed because if they place a Golem and you've got Poison, Arrows, Zap, and Fireball, what are you going to play against the Golem? Are you going to Fireball it? That's just -4 right there. It's not worth it, guys. Just make sure that you only have 3 spells and at most 2 buildings. And the only time you should really have 2 buildings is if one is offensive and one is defensive, as in like an Expo and an Inferno Tower. So the next thing I'm going to tell you guys is make sure that you know how to space out your troops. You guys don't want to place things that are able to be fireballed together or things that are able to be zapped together or arrowed together, because this is just common sense. You guys don't want to do that. Make sure that you space your stuff out, because otherwise people are just going to get massive value with things like fireballs and all of that. The next step I'm going to tell you guys is learn how to bypass. So basically, if someone, this really only works for like Hog Riders and basically cards that like target defenses, but basically if they place a cannon and you place a Hog Rider, like depending on where they place the cannon, you might be able to ignore the cannon completely and head to the tower in the opposite lane. It just all depends. Learn how to bypass, guys. It'll really help you out if you guys are using Giants, Hog Riders, Royal Giants, things like that. You'll be able to bypass people's buildings fairly easily. The next tip is learn to take some damage. Now this one isn't really, I'm not really able to like show or tell you exactly how to do this one, but sometimes it's good to take a little bit of damage. If your opponent plays like some archers at the bridge, it's okay to not like do anything about them. Archers aren't going to do that much damage, and it's better just to keep your troops alive or just sacrifice a little bit of damage so that you can gain a little bit of an elixir lead. So tip 11, learn when to commit to a push and when to not overcommit to a push. So let's say they place a golem. Well, this also goes for the next tip, which is number 12, learn when to punish and push in the opposite lane. So let's just start out here with number 11 though. So first you guys need to learn when to commit and when to not overcommit. So let's say they place a golem in the back. What you guys are going to want to do if you're playing a Hog Rider deck is push the other lane. But you guys don't want to add a Valkyrie to it. If you guys add a Valkyrie to it, then you're spending the same amount of elixir as the golem, and I guarantee you that that push is most likely not going to get as much damage as the golem is going to get. Even because they're just going to be able to defend that Hog Rider Valkyrie push with like some archers or something, and then you've got a full health golem going in the other lane, and it's just not good. So it's best to just place a solo Hog Rider, maybe a log or something behind it, just to clean up some troops that they might play. But it's not good to place that much elixir to punish somebody right off the bat. And in order to learn how to punish or when to push opposite lanes, you guys basically just need to practice more. If you guys see a golem, it's almost always a good idea to push the other lane if you guys are using a Hog Rider deck, or if you see them pump up, make sure you either pump up yourself or go aggressive so that you can take out their pump, or do something like that just so that they don't get a big elixir lead. And since they're down on elixir, you guys will be able to make a lot of advances with that. The next step I can give you, which is number 13, is abuse your legendaries. Every single legendary in the game except Ice Wizard can be used in a broken way. Even like the Sparky can be very broken with a tornado, guys. If they're using like, I don't know, bridge spam, you just tornado the Sparky. It's going to kill the Night Witch, the Bandit, and the Battle Ram all in one go, and it's going to be pretty freaking insane. So make sure that you guys abuse your legendaries as much as possible. The 14th tip that I'm going to tell you guys is make sure that you keep your positive elixir trades in mind. So let's say they play Spear Goblins and some minions. If you guys arrow that, you guys are going to want to keep track of how many elixir you guys are accumulating with those arrows. So if they play like a Goblin game, which is 3, and Minion Horde, which is like 5, that's an 8 for 3 trade, guys. That means you have 5 elixir to spend for free. So that means you can play an Ice Spirit and a Hog Rider without even worrying about them being able to play anything. If they play anything, that means you're going to get some more elixir back. So that's just how that's going to work. The final tip I have for you guys is try to play a spell instead of a troop whenever possible. So let's say they play like a Minion Horde or something like that. You guys are going to want to play your wizard instead of your arrows sometimes, just to throw off their cycle. Because if you guys play arrows, sure, they're going to be down to elixir, but if you play a wizard, that means they're going to have to play something. So you're basically forcing their hand in that scenario. You guys are going to play a wizard, and it's going to be an equal trade for you, 5 for 5, but then they're going to have to spend a little bit of more elixir there. So I mean, it's still a positive elixir trade if you think about it. The arrows are a direct positive elixir trade, but the wizard is a positive elixir trade in the fact that they have to play more elixir to counter, and it's just going to throw off their cycle, and they're going to use the counter for your wizard that they don't really want to use. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed these 15 intermediate tips. I'm going to be uploading some more videos like this every once in a while, but tomorrow I'm going to hop into another challenge. I'm going to try to see if I can get some gems or maybe buy some so that I can do some grand challenge videos for you guys. I want to do some 12-win challenges. I've actually won a couple 12-win challenges before, so I just want to do some of those for you guys. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to be signing off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and again, more uploads coming very soon. I upload every single day, so yeah, I'm rambling. See you